from the ashes. Born 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 from the. Watch me rain.
What's up, everyone, and welcome to a best of 5 show match between two RnG Pro heavy hitters. It's going to be Nightwarrior versus Frobie tonight. I know it's been a bit of a wait. Thank you very much for bearing with the administrators here. In the bottom left corner, as the pink Protoss, it's Nightwarrior. And in the top right of Everdream, it's the blue Terran, Frobie. I think this is going to be a pretty even matchup. I'm excited. I think we're going to see a 3-2 result either way. Frobie is a god of mech Terran, but just a little bit more handsome and a little bit more civil than Avalo, you know. So he has a lot of potential in the future. Nightwarrior likes a mix of play, you know. He switches things up all the time. He likes to go Blink Stalkers. He likes to go Robo. And on occasion, he's been known to pull out a Phoenix build. Nightwarrior almost never cheeses, though, so I don't think we're going to see any forages. I don't think we're going to see any proxy gates in this series. Okay, Frobie sends out an SCV scout. He is going to tag the probe as well. He should pull the second SCV from the barracks to stop his CC from getting delayed. Well, it looks like Frobie isn't going to even attempt to delay the CC, so Frobie's going to get that down right on time. Nightwarrior already has a second Town Hall building of his own, and an interesting way to block off the Reaper jump. I haven't seen this quite yet. But hey, the season is still young. Epic worker battles of history. Probe versus SCV. Looks like the SCVs are going to win out on that one. The probe, it's a little bit chicken. Frobie is indeed going into factory. Now, like I said previously, Frobie is a solid mech player. However, every pro player in the current meta is going bio against the Protoss. There's the occasional Cyclone that you see, there's the occasional Hellion drop, but bio is the generally accepted way to go in this matchup. Nightwarrior isn't going to get too aggressive. Actually, that's going to be Frobie this time around. A weird little 4 Marine push with some Hellions to back it up. This is a unique play out of the Terran. I don't know how much it's going to do with 2 Stalkers on the field. Once a third pops, I mean, this is going to do absolutely nothing. Okay, there's 2 more Hellions joining. So I take that back a little bit. Ooh, an early Adept goes down here for Frobie, or for Nightwarrior. Frobie continuing on the attack. shield's gone off of one of the stalkers. I think he might have been better served focusing on that injured stalker. He is going to get in on the probe line. Only 4 probes going down so far. 5, 6, 7. Okay, 8 probes is decent damage. However, none of the stalkers went down. I hesitate to call this a total victory for Frobie. The worker count is even, and of course the Terran has mules, so he's a little bit ahead. But Nightwarrior is going to catch up pretty quickly. Blink is almost on the field here for the Protoss. There's the third CC starting to be built. Raven coming out here for Frobie as well. Siege tank production is continuing. Nightwarrior going into double forge as he takes a third. So this is going to be a sustained macro play from the Protoss. 1 forge, I mean, it could be a 3-base attack, but we're probably going to see a 4th from Nightwarrior if he survives the eventual Terran aggression. Given that he did go for Blink, I'm a little bit surprised he didn't take his advantage of, you know, stalkers, continue warping in, and go pressure the Terran, but there you have it. We're going to have a passive macro game from the 2 players. And there it is. Frobie is going triple factory, so this is a sustained mech play. He's still double pumping Marines for now, but this is going to be a swift transition. Armory coming up for the Terran as well. Nightwarrior is going into robotics facility units. He's very likely to throw down a Robo Bay, and that of course means it's going to be either Colossi or Disruptors, or a mix of both. A lot of players have been going, you know, 2-3 Colossi into Disruptors. I'm not sure what the deal is with the positioning on these stalkers. They're a little bit exposed if Frobie were to move out. They can, of course, blink back, but there just aren't enough out here to really kite back and do damage against the Marines. You really need like 6 to 8 stalkers if you're going to do that. Frobie, it looks like, is just going to macro up to 3 base. The Protoss has had his up and running for a lot longer. The worker count's pretty even though, and Frobie's going to mule the absolute heck out of his fresh base. Nightwarrior throws down a 4th. I think the Protoss is winning the economic race here. Frobie has had pretty limited scouting. He's going to scan the natural. I don't know why he's going to scan the natural. I guess maybe hoping to see what the Protoss composition was looking like, but Nightwarrior had 0 units within the scan range. A nice pick on the Warp Prism from Frobie. The Marine did, of course, scout it moving across the map, and Frobie was able to intercept Nightwarrior, moving into a defensive position at his 4th. Zealot run by. We'll get picked off by the Cyclones. 1 charge lot will connect with the SCV line, but not even going to get a single worker kill. Frobie decides to go on the attack. Now, it's important to note, this is like a battle mech composition. He left most of his tanks back at home. So, no sustained assault on the Protoss, just kind of a little poke there with those highly mobile units. Nightwarrior sees Frobie taking a 4th, and he's going to take a 5th. This is a little bit of a heavy attack force from the Protoss. He needs to be careful he doesn't eat a tank volley. One tank volley on this army, and the Protoss is going to melt, and Frobie can just counterattack. No major damage on either side. Well, this Immortal going down is going to be pretty bad. But, just a couple shots fired back and forth. Frobie knocking down the rocks to better use his highly mobile force. Nightwarrior, I don't think, has enough in this little death ball to engage this right now. There's only one Colossi. The Archons are a little bit out of position. Oh, he's going to get some nice shots off on the Cyclones, actually, and he blinks on top of the tanks. There's still a lot here for Frobie, though, and Nightwarrior keeps eating volley after volley. He has a... Oh, Cyclone went down as well. Not a good trade here for Nightwarrior. With these tanks sieging up, Frobie owns this entire area. Nightwarrior really needs to evac the probes. GG is called. Frobie. In the top right corner of Eternal Empire, it's the pink Protoss, Nightwarrior. And in the bottom left, as the red Terran, it's Frobie. And I forgot to shut off the Brood War music. We're gonna alt-tab real fast. There we go. So, Frobie took game number 1. Nightwarrior overextended into the tank line. And just ate a few too many volleys, a few too many times. Frobie was able to kill Nightwarrior's 4th, and while Nightwarrior still had a lot of economy left and a lot of bases, he didn't have the production to re-up and face Frobie again, so Nightwarrior had to tap out. Now, I think Eternal Empire is definitely a Mech Terran favored map going up against Protoss. Nightwarrior. God. The music's... I need to make like a soundboard or something so I can hit like a stream deck and play different musical cues, because the StarCraft 2 soundtrack can be wildly inappropriate at times. Look at the map, tasteless! Or, I guess I'm doing my tasteless voice. Look at the map, Artosis! Absolutely nothing is happening! Frobie took a natural, he's getting up a factory, as Terrans are wont to do! Nightwarrior has a pylon on the low ground! Which I guess I should be doing to hype up the match, but my voice just can't sustain it, bro. If I was, like, live on stage, sure, but this is... You gotta ramp it up. You gotta build suspense, right? So, Nightwarrior getting a Stargate in the main. And this is most certainly for Phoenix. We might see 1, 2 Oracles. I would be very surprised if we see 3. It's not impossible. You know, we see it every once in a while, but... usually not in Protoss vs. Terran. Yeah, there's the Phoenix right away. Most of the time when I see Phoenix builds, it's against a Bio Terran, right? So the Phoenix are swooping in, they're picking off a Marine here, a Marine there, they're going in on the SCV line, and the Terran is trying to respond to that with these really quick-moving Marines and the occasional Cyclone. Frobie, of course, is a mech player, so I'm very curious how the interplay is going to work out between these Phoenix and a lot of Hellions, a lot of Cyclones that can tank a lot of damage and won't necessarily go down very easily to the Phoenix. A Viking coming out for Frobie as well. Vikings are a little bit difficult for the Phoenix to deal with. Frobie knows exactly what he's up against, scouting this Phoenix twice with the Hellions, and that's important, because now he knows it's not a hallucination, it's not a mind game. It didn't expire between the Hellions poking into the Nat and when they saw it at the Xel'Naga Tower. Frobie starts up a 3rd CC. Nightwarrior is going for a 3rd Nexus, and we're headed into the mid-game, into macro. That said, Nightwarrior, once he gets up to sitting at around 5, I want to say like 7 or 8 Phoenix, he's going to have to go across the map and harass a little bit. Having this high Phoenix composition really weakens your army towards the mid-game. Once you get to a late-game scenario, yeah, they can dive in on tanks, they can pick them up, they can hold them there while your mass blink stalker or whatever does a lot of damage, but right now, if Frobie were to move out, he has a lot of Marines, he has a lot of Cyclones, he has a Viking in the air, and look what happens if they get lifted. Well, the more units you lift, the less Phoenix you have to shoot them, right? Obviously. There's even a Raven out to drop auto turrets if needed, or throw out the old Dorito cannon. So what Frobie needs to... Well, what Nightwarrior needs to do against Frobie is send the Phoenix across the map and pick off units one at a time before Frobie can build up a scary force and launch an attack on Nightwarrior's 3rd or 4th base. Couple Widow Mines coming out for the Terran. This is just straight up anti-Phoenix, and Nightwarrior is building nothing but. Missile turrets going up at the 3rd as well. Nightwarrior should be... no, he's not. Well, okay, he denies the forward missile turret, but nothing else, and he lost a significant amount of Phoenix to this. Six of the 11 Phoenix got picked off there. Several more heavily injured. But Nightwarrior continues to commit to the Air Force, and he kind of has to. He researched +1 weapons. This is already a major investment on Nightwarrior's part, and he has to do damage. He knows that. That's why he's sweeping into the natural Frobie, but Frobie already has 2 missile turrets ready to intercept. All of this territory, up through, like, here, and the Phoenix will be taking damage. Look at that. Shield's gone off of several of the Phoenix. Nightwarrior has to back out again after only 2 SCV kills. Right on time as Nightwarrior throws down a 4th. Frobie is making his attack, and he will get the snipe on this base if he wants it. Unfortunately, that Arubu is not going to live to see it. Is that what they're called? Arubus? I don't remember. Ursidax? Nightwarrior gets another lift, but he's eating Widowmine shots every time he does this. All 4 Widowmines are on cooldown right now. But Nightwarrior doesn't go in, he doesn't kill another Cyclone, and his forces are really dwindling. 15 army supply to 60. Let me see if I can find another little thingy. Well, okay, Marine's gonna try to shut down the 4th. Frobie will get the kill on this base. Nightwarrior doesn't have anything to respond. Oh. It's a Karak. Okay. Alright. Frobie moves in for a drop. 2 Widowmines loaded into the medevac. These are huge lifts from Nightwarrior. This is his one and only opportunity to take Frobie down, I think. And he whiffs it! He doesn't chase down the forces! He doesn't continue attacking! Nightwarrior's option is not to get a 4th. He does not have that option. There's a planetary at Frobie's 4th, and he has a 5th CC about to complete and move out to location. There's no way that he out-macros the Terran here. He gained an army supply lead for a brief moment, he had several more Cyclones in his sights, and he just didn't have the will to kill. Wow, that sounded more violent than I intended it to. He didn't really, you know, have that killer instinct to go across the map and besiege Frobie, take out his reinforcements as they were popping out of the production centers, and that brief moment has passed. Frobie is about to hit max out and move in for the kill on Nightwarrior. He's building a bank behind this. He can sustain losses as he engages the Protoss. Nightwarrior does have an upgrade advantage. So, you know, not all the cards are in Frobie's favor, but he has a pretty good chance of winning this round. The mines just landed their seclusion, and it looks like they got 7 kills. Frobie didn't move the medevac in right away. He waited for Nightwarrior to respond to this attack before landing the mines. Which is why... oh my god, the entire Zealot meat shield is decimated by the Widow Mines, and Frobie has plenty of Cyclones to kite these Phoenix. There are some good lifts, but there just isn't enough HP to sustain the lock-ons. 1 Phoenix left in the air. The Archons will be able to engage this. Nightwarrior has brought him a second chance to... himself a second chance to close out this game. He needs to go on the attack before these Widow Mines recharge and join up with the main forces of Frobie or go decimate his economy. No, he's pulling back into the Widow Mines! Oh, that was almost very, very, very bad. Frobie, I think, has Drilling Claws. He does, so these are cloaked. Oh no, Nightwarrior just walks into the minefield, eats a couple shots. High Templar auto attack isn't going to do much. Ooh, another 10 probes go down here for the Nightwarrior. Frobie with even more of an economic lead, up 40 workers and taking another 3 command centers. Nightwarrior has once again missed his opportunity to go kill his opponent. Another Widowmine picks off another 7 workers, and this medevac has done its job. It's done its job well, and it's going home for a pretty well-deserved rest. The Concave of Archons is a little bit too much for Frobie's composition to deal with right now, especially with the upgrades that Nightwarrior has, but Nightwarrior just isn't aggressive enough. He's not chasing down the Archons. He's not backing them into a corner. He calls GG. In the top left corner of Nightshade, as the pink Terran, it's Frobie. And in the bottom right, as the red Protoss, it's Nightwarrior. Okay, so we're moving on to a Protoss favored map. Will Frobie close out the series here? Or is Nightwarrior? Let's check out the chat. Yeah, but Cyclone Mine destroys that. Stalker Charge Lot, best comp. Saw that, yeah. GLHF, because I can't max out. Yeah, so in between games, Frobie very friendly, in a very friendly manner, was like, "Hey, Stalker Charge Lot is how you beat me." And he's right, with the caveat that, you know, Nightwarrior has to mix in a couple Colossi and eventually a few Disruptors. Nightwarrior is not able to get a delay on the CC of Frobie. It was pretty close, though. Christianer is a pretty good European Protoss. I wouldn't say that he's like, you know, the best of the best Europe has to offer, but he's definitely up there. He's up there with Geralt. He's up there. With players like Poppy, etc. Yeah, he regularly plays in the SCV Rush, which he can cast on SCV Rush 1 tomorrow afternoon at 1 PM EDT. This is a Chad Reaper. Holy, he got 6 kills. Nightwarrior's too focused on his attack on the other side of the map, which did nothing. Forgot to cancel my shade. Oh. 3. Frobie's like, you have Chrono, you're good. Yeah, like 5 probes or something. How about 6? Try 6. Oof. Okay, Frobie looks like he's going for a Raven. It's going to get a tech lab on the factory as well. Probably going to research mag field accelerators, which is the name of the Cyclone upgrade. Nightwarrior is going into charge. Frobie is sending out a Banshee. And is there a robotics facility? There is. Okay, so Nightwarrior is going to have an observer in time. He has gotten ahead in workers as well. So as long as he doesn't eat too much damage from this Banshee, he's going to be totally okay. Ooh, a shield battery finishes up in the nick of time here for Nightwarrior. This Banshee is going to be totally denied. Is it, though? The shot goes wild. Damage is distributed between two probes, so not a single probe kill on the Banshee investment for Frobie. Which is going to hurt him a little bit, you know? Going for a Banshee instead of a Raven is a little bit of a risk-reward scenario. It might not seem like it, but remember, since Frobie didn't make a Raven, he's not building energy on it, and that's going to hurt him in the long run against Nightwarrior's composition. Nightwarrior is again going double Forge, which means he is likely to go up to a 4th base. Which I think is the wrong move here. Frobie has stopped Nightwarrior in the late game twice now. If Nightwarrior went for a timing attack, that could be the key to beating Frobie. Nightwarrior sending out a Warp Prism. But how committed is he going to be with this assault? Frobie is a little bit supply blocked, and he's not building supply depots. Oh no. This is going to severely stymie his production. There we go. 3 supply depots thrown down, but he's going to need a lot more very quickly, so the minerals don't stack up. Nightwarrior never attacks. He warped in 4 zealots, but never moved in, and now Frobie has both a scouting barracks to scout the, well, to intercept, as well as a Viking. So Nightwarrior isn't going to have a window to attack whatsoever. Little bit of passivity hits the field. 1-1 about to finish for the Protoss. Nightwarrior, again, I think is going to end up behind in upgrades over the long run. Given that he's spending most of his gas on these mech units. Six probes went down there to that little Hellion run by. Frobie loads up a couple Hellbats in his medevac. He's shift-clicking around the map. Viking finally finds the Warp Prism. Oh no, that's 400 minerals plus the Warp Prism lost. Poor Nightwarrior. His army supply is going to take a little bit of a hit. Scouting Zealot sees the medevac. Heading for his natural. It doesn't look like Frobie's going to attack. It looks like he's repositioning around his 4th base in a more defensive posture. Is he, though? No, it's... Well, okay, this is the middle of the map. Alright, it looks like Frobie caught wind of Nightwarrior's army positioning and decided to move out. Nightwarrior has a good concave, but there's so many tanks, 4 of them hidden behind the rocks, just pounding out damage on these Archons. Oh no! It looked like Nightwarrior's engagement, but the Warp Prism went down, and with it, a huge warp in of Zealots. We'll never see the light of day! Nightwarrior didn't commit to the tanks! Now there's reinforcements to defend for Frobie! 2 more volleys go off from this tanks as well, and with it, a lot of the Protoss army disappears. Oof. What seems to be holding Nightwarrior back is just his... He's not sealing the deal, right? He's getting a little bit ahead and just not using his killer instinct to take down the Terran. This is unlimited amounts of tanks. But Nightwarrior gets us around. He has a lot of charge lots. The final tank is about to fall. Down it goes. Nightwarrior is still behind in army supply. But he went a long way there toward evening things up, and he's still slightly ahead in upgrades for now. Oh, that was very, very, very close for those 4 High Templar. Had Frobie not decided to turn them into Hellbats, they would have died instantly. 11 probes do go down, so that's still gonna hurt Nightwarrior. Nightwarrior's going on the attack. The radar towers totally see the positioning of every Protoss unit, and Nightwarrior does not have the supply to engage this right now. What up, Kyojin? How's it going, GT Kong? Frobie is maxed out, has a large bank, and is going for a game-ending push. Nightwarrior is pretty far down in army supply, as well as economy. Well, actually, it's not too far down in army supply. These Hellbats are really grouped up in eating a lot of splash damage from the Archons, as are the tanks. But Nightwarrior split up in too many directions and ate too many tank volleys once again. GG is called, and Frobie takes the series 3-0.